All right, guys, what is going on? What's Gucci? Can we get the AM session equal lows? Let's go. That's why I started it early. By like a minute. Can we get the let's see. Today's price action has been rather rambunctious, I will say. We're trying to get paid today. We can get below Friday's low. There's that. Fuck, man, I thought I was gonna make more than I'm making right now. That's... oh well. Alexa, run Friday's low. Please do it. Hold on, man. I gotta fucking put a stop into this shit. There's no fucking... one second, please. One second, please. I think I put that in there. I think I put it in there correctly. Whatever, man. Let's get Friday's low. And that would be great. But anyway, what's good, everyone? Hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good Labor Day, I think it was yesterday. But we were here. We discussed leadership stuff. And I ended up clipping that. And I made that into a video. That is my most recent video. I think it's called Everything Rises and Falls on Leadership. Yeah, why businesses fail. All right, I dropped that a couple hours ago. I know leadership doesn't typically get the most views, but that's not going to change my level of passion for it. That ain't going to change. And honestly, I thought these options would do way better. If I knew that I was only going to be up a certain percentage, I would have went way deep. I would have went way deeper than how I am right now. See, this is why, to me, I'm not qualified enough to teach you everything. Oh, there's Friday's low. To teach you everything about... oh, there we go. Thank you. Give me some fucking volatility. Good grief. This is why I don't think I'm qualified enough to teach you everything that I know about options. Because even sometimes I get a little tricked myself. Like, the profit rocketed when we hit Friday's low. And we basically caught this whole move here. But I must have miscalculated something, because I should be up more than I am. But that's all right. Money is money, baby. Money is money. And shit, someone's got to pay for the next giveaway. Someone's got to pay for it. You know what I mean? So, I was looking for something today. Today was shit, man. Honestly, I think the morning was, like I said, rambunctious. But you know me. I got to find something. So Dow left us some lows. This is actually the ETF, but if we go look at the future side, futures left us equal lows. Just below that's Friday's low. And that's just beautiful. Looking at this. This is the mitigation model here. Right there. Boom. Mitigation. Bam. Right there. Unfortunately, that was a little bit before lunch, but that's okay. Right there. Oof. Beautiful, crispy, clean, just disgusting. I love it. I just wish I would have made more than I'm up right now. It's bullshit. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. But what's good, Kobe, Ali, Edgar, Katarina, Andreas, Iberneth, Nikki, Naruto, Beverly. I know, Beverly, I've been seeing your stories. You've been reading a lot of, I think it was meditations, and then I think the Daily Stoic. Nikki also posts a lot of the Daily Stoic as well. So I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. That's actually what I wanted to talk to you about today, was teachers and sparring partners. So it's an exercise. I was going to keep it for just my Discord, our Discord rather, but I figured I would share it with everybody. So, fuck. I don't know how much more of a sell-off to expect, to be honest with you. I really don't know. If we, let me go to, what is this? We go to DIA. We have a little bit of a different story here. Oh yeah, look at this 1 hour candle. We had lows from Thursday and Friday, and then we have these lows back here too from Tuesday the 29th. I don't know if I mentioned that or not the other day. I do not remember. I don't think I did, because I think it would have been here, and it's not. But anyway, back to the point. This was the mitigation model here, and I ended up playing a small retracement around in here. So my entry was a little shit, but I figured the afternoon session would be bearish. So luckily we're on the right side today. Onside, baby, onside. Shorting the laggard, not shorting the leader. Stop to profit. Good day. What a good day. Why did you short the ETF and not the futures? I wasn't comfortable with the futures. Because I just tossed it up to the session, honestly. The retracement in here somewhere. I mean, it was probably like, I think it was right in here somewhere. It was ass. It was trash. It was right before lunch too. So that's why I went with the future side instead of that's why I went with the ETF side instead of the future side. Dog, if you're going to trade futures, your entry has to be precise, because it's so highly, the leverage that's built into the assets is just very, very high. You do not want drawdown in futures trading. I mean, it'll happen, but you don't want that. Options is a little bit more relaxed. You can handle a little bit more drawdown. It's not going to rip your face off. So that's what I wanted today. And I'm liking it. I mean, shit. The last 30 minutes have been really doing well. And I fuck with that. So now the question now is, okay, what is it going to reach for? Well, this to me would have been a partial right now, right? Making Friday below Friday's low, that's easily a partial. But on the higher time frame, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Nothing over here seems that it would be a long. This looks horrendous to me. I mean, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see. This is why taking partials is a good thing. So anyway, I think it looks all right. With Dow being our laggard for today, S&P, this looks absolutely horrendous. I do have 45.31 up here, only because they're equal highs, but I don't even know what to tell you here. Like, I really don't even know what to tell you. I don't even have an opinion here. And that was from last week. We'll drop that as well. If anything, the Nasdaq may even trade higher. Could. I don't know. And that's one thing about today is mixed. It's mixed. You know what I mean? So We do have a higher Nasdaq. S&P is just rambunctious. That's our word of the day, in case you couldn't tell. And then look at Dow, weak sauce. Weak sauce. You know? Look, man, if you're gonna get into a fight in a group of people, smartest thing you could do is find the weakest one. The shortest one, the weakest one. That's the one I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna beat that ass. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go and try to beat up the strongest person. Okay, that's just not advantageous. In the markets, same thing. Am I gonna short the strong asset? No, I'm gonna short what I know is already weak. That's why look at these markets here. The S&P pulling back, didn't make a new low. Nasdaq barely pulled back at all. But the Dow melting, absolutely melting. It's like if I step outside right now, oh, you can't see it. It's 93 outside. If I step outside, this is what's going to happen to me. I'm going to melt. So I'm not going to do that. What's good, Willow? Good, Edmundo. Love the energy today. And I feel good, man, because I got new lights in here in case you couldn't tell. You know, it's no longer purple in the background. I think it's called daylight. Because there's soft white and then there's daylight. Shit, man, I put those bulbs in last night, turned the light on. Oh my God. Almost blinded myself. That reminds me of the one time, bitch ass lady called the police on me and this other guy who used to live in my neighborhood. But anyway, it was really late. We were chilling in my car playing music and the cops pulled up. Two cop cars pulled up and they shined a light. You know how cop cars, like, you ever seen them either, I think, on the side or like right outside the window, there's like they're lights. And that shit is bright as fuck. I mean, dude, they shine that in my face and I could not see anything. I mean, it was like someone threw a flashbang right at me. And that's how I felt last night when I put those in. Put in the 3. Flicked the light on, looked at him, went, oh. Probably lost my vision, dude. Probably lost my vision. But we do got our vision for the markets, you understand? So, no. And another thing, too, is that I get to read a little bit more. Because with the purple lights, couldn't really see that all that well. So I can read more. And I'm just excited for it. That's all. It was time. Those purple lights were in my room for the last number of years. So I had to change it. But anyway, I want to get to the exercise for today. And we'll take a look at some other markets as well. I just was watching this, obviously, and that's why I turned on the stream. If you were here, I turned it on as soon as I could because we were getting ready to take these lows and we watched that. So what we do from here, I have no idea. Don't know. Oh, I wonder if we hit this right here. That little lack of wick right there on the Dow Jones ETF. That's a good partial as well. So made it low at 112 to 147, 150 actually. There's like a 10-cent spread between the bid and the ask on this particular put option. That's fucking crazy. Whatever. All right. So our exercise for today, well, really it's for the week. I don't expect you to do this today, but drop a 1 if you've read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Whichever version, doesn't matter. Penguin Classics, Modern Library. Then there's a couple different ones. I mean, there's got to be like 100 different versions of Meditations. So Nikki's read it. Naruto has read it. Beverly's almost done with it. It's close enough. Close enough. And Mundo has read it, or at least has it. Andreas doesn't have a copy just yet. Willow doesn't have a copy yet. Katarina's waiting for it to arrive. All right. Well, good enough. I at least appreciate the honesty. So, for those of you that have it, what's at the beginning? Right after the background information, like what does Marcus open up with? How does he open Meditations? What's he do? I think it's book 1. Gratitude? About what? Gratitude about what specifically? Mind you, I titled the stream a certain way, so that should give you a lot of context clues. To what I'm getting at. Now the ask is 159. It's like a 8 cent, 9, no. It's an 11-cent spread. I wonder what that means. I don't know, man. Now it's 13. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Naruto says he gives shout outs to the people in his life that have helped shape him. Exactly. The people that was influential to him. Exactly. Credit where credit is due. That's one way of putting it. So yeah, gratitude in other words. So if you don't have a copy of Meditations, that's all right. Hopefully you get one day. It's only $8 on Amazon. It's the cheapest book recommendation that I have for you. Okay. If price is what you're worried about. He mentions a lot of people and how they have influenced him. You guys are right. His mom, his adopted father, some other people, his mentors, Antoninus, I think that was his adoptive father. But anyway, so that's what I want to get to today. That's your teachers, right? Or you call them mentors or friends. I mean, they're going to be a variety of people, but at the end of the day, they would all fall under the umbrella of teachers, okay? Now, Epictetus, okay? So we have to back up a little bit in terms of history, because Marcus Aurelius came after Epictetus and after Seneca. Epictetus talks about sparring partners. So who has read Discourses and Selected Writings? I feel like that's a less number of you than who have read Meditations. Oh, maybe this was it. Maybe this was what I was trying to refer to earlier, but on Dow. Maybe that's why. I wonder if we reach that today for the S&P. I don't know. It's hard to say. And then triple Qs. Literally, I have no clue. I wouldn't long or short this today. Or right now, at least. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. We'll just keep it here for now. So no one has Discourses by Epictetus? Man. Shame. I got all these students, over 146, 147 members. And not one of you has Discourses? Man, I am a shit mentor. I'm a shitty mentor. I got to be the worst fucking mentor there is, man. Students don't even have the book. Man, that's fucked. That is fucked. All right. Well, with that being said, I guess I'll have to fucking explain it to you. I was going to do that anyway. But in Discourses and Selected Writings by Epictetus, in there, he talks about how people can be our sparring partners. So the Stoics, and you know, a lot of them from that era, they were not just philosophers, right? Like Marcus Aurelius was an emperor, Seneca was an advisor to Nero, Epictetus was a slave, later turned philosopher. They did other things, right? Like they had obviously the Roman army, right? The Roman Empire, you know, they were taking over countries or whatever. So, you know, there were soldiers. They did things like probably hunting as well. I think Marcus was a hunter. Theodore Roosevelt was a hunter. But anyway, they did sports. So they were into things like boxing and stuff like that. And other shit like running and whatever. So if you're into like MMA or if you're into boxing or some sort of sport like tennis or basketball, whatever, we have opponents, right? We have people that we can play against or fight against, not at 100%, right? Or at least in boxing, you may not go 100%, but in boxing, a sparring partner is someone who you spar with, right? Now, the reason I talk about this is because I believe Epictetus is saying, look, in life, you will come across people that are going to challenge you, or they're going to be like rude. They're going to be your enemies pretty much. Okay. I wrote out like a whole paragraph about this. I just don't remember exactly what I said. And it's something along those lines. Like Bobby, for example, that overweight fat bitch who fired me or tried to fire me, whatever. That's a sparring partner, right? She's one of my sparring partners. Because what does that do for you? Why are sparring partners important? Because they make us better. And because we can learn from them. They keep us like on our toes. They keep us sharp. Does that make sense? And it's interesting because enemies or, you know, bad people, they do have their place in the world. And guess what? You're going to be a bad person to someone else, right? You could ask probably a handful of some of the girls I've dated. They'll probably tell you I'm fucking horrible, right? You know, they're going to lie, of course, you know, but they're all sparring partners too. And it's like, okay, what do we do with that? You learn what to not be like. Does that make sense? It's not you, it's us. No, it's definitely me. It's definitely me. Almost 150 students and not a single soul has a book that I've been recommending for months. That means I'm trash. That means I'm not doing my job. So, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. 161. All right, spreads are a little bit tighter, but I don't get that. I don't understand that. It's funny, the options have Greeks, and I'm talking about ancient Greek philosophers, but I got you, Katarina. It's all good. I know I recommend like $100. It's all good. Shit, I lost track of what I was saying. Oh yeah. All right. So just to clarify, a teacher is someone that you admire, you aspire to be like them. They usually have high moral character, good moral character. You know, they encourage you, they show you things, and they're overall just good people. You want to be like them. You want to surround yourself with them. They're just awesome. Okay. So this is typically going to be like your friends or maybe your family, probably someone that's, they don't always have to be older than you, but typically like John Maxwell, for example, you know, he's old, right? But I read all of his books. He's a teacher of mine. He's a mentor of mine, right? I learn a lot about leadership from John. So I consider him a teacher. A sparring partner is just, they're very similar. You still learn from them, but you learn more so of what not to do, right? Like I have leaders that I look up to, like I want to be like them. And I have sparring partners where it's like, okay, I want to do everything they do not do. I want to be the inverse of them. That's what a sparring partner is, okay? All right, thanks, Bev. So your assignment for this week, again, you don't have to do it in a day. You probably could, but this is more so of an assignment that you should not rush. You should really slow down and take the time to actually do it. Okay? So here's what I suggest for you to do. Thank you, Sean. And Naruto. I wrote all this shit down this time. All right, so make a list of 12 people. It could be more or less, it's up to you, but I would recommend to start off with 12 people. All right? 8 of them should be teachers, and 4 of them should be sparring partners. Now, if you want to do 6 and 6, 10 and 2, or even like 10 and 10, I'm not going to tell you how many to do or not do, but I'm going to recommend at a starting point, do 12 total, 8 being teachers and 4 being sparring partners. Now, this is not something you should share with anybody, right? Because Meditations, that was his personal journal. So this is going to be similar. Okay. You don't have to, don't send it to me. Matter of fact, don't even put me on your list. Okay. Anybody else but me. Do the teachers first. So who do you want to be like? You know, it could be an author. It could be a celebrity. Hopefully not, but I guess there are a couple good celebrities, but it could be anybody in the past or anybody that's current. So it could be Marcus. It could be some of the Stoics. It could be an actor. I mean, maybe certain people throughout history, like civil rights activists. It could be ex-presidents. I mean, literally anybody that you know of, like you know about them, you know their history, and you've learned something from them. And then the other 4, the last 4, should be people that you know that, I don't want to say that you hate them. I don't recommend like hating somebody, but you know, like write down somebody that you know is just like, yeah, I don't want to be like them. They are horrible. And I just learned what to not be like. Bobby is one of them. AT1 is one of them. You guys don't know who that is, but I do. I met him when he was an AT1. AT is a rate in the Navy, and he was a first class. So I knew him, and his title was AT1. So that's what I call him, because I'm not going to call him by his real name, because fuck that guy. Okay. So Bobby, AT1, my ex, obviously, the one, at least the one from high school, at least. And just certain others that are sparring partners. They teach me what not to be like. Okay. So for each person, right, write down their qualities. So for example, if I use Marcus Aurelius to be strict with myself, but tolerant with others, that not every situation needs an opinion. And just, you don't have to write down everything, but just the first couple things that come to your head. You know, I could write down, say, somebody like Zachary Hogan, who is, you know, someone who taught me that, again, not every situation needs a response, that, you know, you can choose to react a certain way to situations, that you don't need to be bothered by certain events, you know, peace of mind, tranquility, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so do that for all of those people for the teachers. And then the sparring partners, just same thing. How to be miserable, what not to be like in leadership, how to not talk to people. Da 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 da. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you made your list of 12 people. You got your 8 teachers who to be like, your 4 sparring partners who not to be like. This is more of a reflection, but it's a question. How can we be more like our teachers? And then there's 4 follow-up questions with that. How can we be more like our teachers? How do they act? How do they think? How do they respond to challenges? And what would it be like if I could adopt their characteristics? What would it be like if I became more like Marcus Aurelius? What would it be like if I became more like Zachary Hogan? What would it be like if I became more like Epictetus and Seneca and James Stockdale and John Maxwell? What would that be like? Would my life be better? Would I have more tranquility? Would I not take situations for granted? Would I live in the moment? Like, how would life be better if I adopted the characteristics of my teachers and of my mentors? And then the same thing for the sparring partner side. Why should we avoid being like our sparring partners? Why should I avoid being like a toxic person? Why should I avoid someone who is really bad at leadership? Why should I avoid someone who's bad at trading or who's constantly blowing their accounts, right? If you want to make it trading related. Do their actions take them further in life or not? Does their thinking make them a better person or does it not? How do those people respond to challenges? And what would it be like if I adopted their characteristics? What would it be like if I was a shitty mentor? What would it be like if I was a bad leader? What would it be like if I got angry at every situation? What would it be like if I treated students like shit? You know? And so it's just, again, this exercise, it's more so to spend time thinking and reflecting and meditating, right? Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, because that's what they were. They were his meditations. So what we should be doing is emulating the people that do well and who we want to be like. And then we want to also at the same time avoid being like these other people who are not good at what they do, who are toxic, who are miserable, who are unsuccessful. So you learn what to do and what not to do. You guys good with that? $20. Okay, no, we're good. We need to get to 160. Whatever. All right, cool. So hopefully by Friday you're able to get that done. Again, don't use me. Well, hopefully not as a sparring partner. But don't use me as a teacher. Use anybody else, past or present. And with that being said, we'll watch the afternoon session together for the indices. Not the whole thing, obviously, but we'll take a look at some price action and really see what transpires today. If we happen to be bearish on indices, just altogether, at least for SPY. I mean, we could probably look at the futures. I mean, I did put live futures analysis in the title, so we should probably do that. But I'd probably watch this imbalance here. The only thing that bothers me about that is you have short-term highs there, so there might be stops there. And well, the lows at 448 are from here. Those really aren't all that obvious. They're kind of just hidden like within here, so that may not happen. I think the more obvious lows are going to be here from the morning. So I would probably have those two levels here, 449.18 and 448.75 again for SPY. But I would want to watch this here and see how do we respond. Like, do we trade into this and then lower, or do we trade through that and then run for these highs? I don't know. If I had to say, I would want to be bearish, but I would not at all be surprised if I'm wrong and we trade above here. Okay, it's very janky today. We're also in the this imbalance here would also be, I think, kind of close to the current intraday range. I mean, we did take Friday's low, but if this is our current high and this is our low, see how the imbalance right there is right near that 50% level? That's usually not what you want. Like, something like that's not usually where you want it to form. Usually you would want it to form like up here somewhere, right? Above 50%, but we don't have that. So it's hard to say that this would be high probability is what I'm getting at. But we'll still have it on there. We'll still keep it there and see what happens. Triple Qs are strongest index today. What did we dig into on Friday? Oh, Thursday and Friday last week. Remember this gap we outlined? I think that was Tuesday or Wednesday. Because we were saying how far can the market go? We outline this gap. And well, Thursday and Friday, we were in there like swimwear. Look at that, 380 level too. Little 80 level right there. So that's not a surprise. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. On the road driving this afternoon, we'll listen to the recording later. Yeah, Stephanie, I would do that. Because we just went over the assignment for this week. I mean, but it's public though. I mean, I want everybody to do this. You know, it's not like part of the challenge that we have in the Discord, which is in the announcements tab if you haven't seen it. We've been doing it's almost the same challenge every week, so it shouldn't be like new to you. But as far as this goes, I think this is a good exercise for anybody to do. Okay? So the Dow might be rallying a little bit here as well. That makes sense. Another thing too, Dow, right, hit these targets already. That 1 hour lack of wick here too. Remember, Nasdaq is higher, and then S&P is also higher from the morning. So this, you know, relative strength is kind of all over the place today. That's why I said rambunctious like 100 times this stream, because to me they're just very all over the place, and that's a good word to know. Is a good word to know. So we'll come back to this. We'll go look at some other things. I think someone said gold earlier today. I'll look at silver real quick. Silver just seems more volatile in recent times. Look at that pullback. Yikes. That's not what I want. We went from 25 to 23.5 in a couple of days. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Same thing for gold. One thing I would note here is the highs up here. So what I mean is we were bullish from Monday and Tuesday of the previous week. Yeah, actually from Friday. We were bullish from that Friday because of how we closed. We got our bullishness, but remember, nothing lasts forever. You guys know that. What I would look at is these highs here. We have a high on the 30th and a higher high on September 1st. Here's the 30th here, and then here's Friday, September 1st. So you see that lower high on silver, and then that higher high here on gold. That's why I circled it like that, because it's higher. You see that? And then that high just happens to reach above these short-term highs right here. I know I don't have my mouse on. I only really turn that on for the stream. I don't really use that myself. Right here, like these highs here. So they diverged here above previous high. So that to me is like classic distribution. Daily imbalance here. That's what the market did. What does the market do? What's it reach for? Liquidity to liquidity, imbalance to imbalance, imbalance to liquidity, and liquidity to imbalance. And you see that here. Liquidity there, divergence, back into imbalance. Done. You see that? So that's not bad. Even though I wanted higher pricing. But again, that's only because I have physical silver. So, you know, I'm biased in that regard. But all right, whatever. With gold trading lower, the euro looks like it is also lower. Oh, that 107.65 level that I was wrong about last week. The 29th. I think that was last week. Yeah. So I was wrong about that. But we did cross that today, which is interesting because we're coming off of a holiday yesterday. So I'm not going to say I was right. I'm not going to say I told you so. Because I definitely did not. But you know what I did tell you? You know what I did say for and I told you so? Fucking New Zealand. Look at that. Beautiful lows there. We had that alert. Why is that alert still open? Who fucking knows? Because we definitely crossed that. I don't know why that's still here on TradingView. Whatever. TradingView and your bullshit. And then Australian dollar as well. Those same lows here, obliterated at 64.01. So you saw those alerts. You got those alerts this morning during London. Oh wait, that was at midnight. What the fuck is Australian doing at midnight? 1 a.m. for New Zealand. All right, whatever. So anyway, this morning or last night, you got that alert. I think I did. Think we got there kind of like very jankily though, very janky. Stops, imbalance. What's the market do? It moves from what to what? Imbalance to liquidity. Done. All right, later, Beverly. EG is dumping for my daily imbalance. Couldn't be more clean. Euro GBP. Ah, you're right. You are right, my friend. That right there. No, that's pretty clean. I mean, I didn't look at this today. This is the first time I'm looking at it, but in hindsight, yeah, this looks great. And Friday's high, these low resistant highs here. So it took those highs, hit that daily imbalance, and then ripped faces lower. That's good analysis right there. British pound. I mean, I like the lows, but these lows were not the same. My webcam's a little bit bigger now. I don't know if you can see that. These lows were not the same. Like New Zealand, Australian, and definitely not the euro either. So I wouldn't have really went with that. That's why I mentioned Aussie and Kiwi and not the other two. Because I like to go for what's more obvious, what's more clean. That's what I care about. If you guys got some value today so far, drop a like on the stream. It would be good. I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but hey, if you're here, doesn't cost you anything. Just a click of a button. And it helps out the channel. The dollar index, same thing with last week. I have no idea really what it wants to do. I'm not going to make any predictions, obviously, like higher or lower or whatever. If anything, it just took a long-term high. Meaning long-term, just like the month of May. Like it took a while to get here. We're above that. So, okay. We may see distribution. I don't know. I don't know, but that's what that looks like. So interesting enough. Oh, look at that. 27 likes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to the triple Qs. No, let's go back to... Yeah, that's fine. There's just a small imbalancing. I'm not saying this is the mitigation model, but that does look close. That does look very close. Because you don't have really anything on the higher time frame, and you don't really have a target, but you do have a mitigation here with that imbalance overlap. But if I'm not bearish on Nasdaq, but if I had to be, I would say this is probably a short. Again, not financial advice. I'm not saying to trade this. I would not short the Nasdaq today. But if I was going to, I think that's not bad. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. SPY still hasn't got into this imbalance. So there's nothing to study there just yet. So we'll probably hop off here in a couple minutes. If there was something that I would watch today, it would probably be this. I would want to see. We'll put one of these up here. We'll put one of those in here. Okay? Because this is a question mark. And that to me means, how do we respond if we get here? Okay? How do we respond? Do we trade into that and then dump lower? Or do we trade in here, trade through it, and then possibly back into it to run these highs? I don't know. I'm not convinced either way. If I had to say, I want lower. I wouldn't be surprised if we went higher though. So I'm not gonna, if we rip lower, I'm not gonna tweet and say, hey, I told you so. I'm not gonna do that today for these levels. That's what I would like. That's what I would prefer. Is it worth trading? I don't think so. I don't think so. Today, we're coming off a holiday. We're coming off a 3-day weekend as well. Slightly shorter week. And it's in the middle of the current day's range. So to me, the conditions entirely are just not really optimal. And what I had for the Dow, I think, was enough. So, I mean, obviously, as long as we don't come back up in here, that would be great. So, we'll know more by the end of today, by the close. All right? So if you guys have any questions, now is the time. Or if you want to work on your teachers and sparring partners assignment, you can do that too. You can do that too. Someone asked me earlier if I was joining like another company or whatever. I'm not doing anything right now other than my YouTube. That's it. Just my YouTube. Will things change in the future? I don't know. As long as I can have my YouTube, maybe. What was the title of the book mentioned earlier? So we mentioned 2 different ones. Number 1 was Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And number 2 was Discourses and Selected Writings by Epictetus. Here, I'll do you one better. It might be in the link might be in the description. Let me check. Yeah. Well, at least the link to meditations is in there. I'll drop the link to discourses. It too is a very cheap book. It's only $12.50. I mean, at least I guess for mine. If you're getting yours from a different website or country, I mean, that obviously that's going to vary. That will vary. You are the company. Thanks, Katarina. Appreciate it. What am I doing after the stream? I will probably eat lunch and then probably read. It doesn't really feel like a Tuesday though. I'll tell you that. It feels more like a Monday. It's Tuesday though, so that means we got to do a market review. So I'll have to record the market review. That's what I'll probably do. If you want a screenshot here, you can. If you want to do a screenshot before and after, you can. You can do that here. And it looks like the Nasdaq went to the higher end of that. So I'd be worried if I was shorting this right now. And hopefully I've given you enough reasons why I would not. It's our leader. I don't typically short the leader. Okay. The Dow is into this imbalance here. What's the market do? Move from liquidity to imbalance. You see that there. So you have to wait for more information. Sean got the meditations, loving it. That's good, man. That's good. I mean, not everything in there is worth highlighting. Some of it's a little weird as well. So, you know, you got to pick and choose what you take away. But I would say that book has many gems. And the fact that it's only $8 on Amazon is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, dude, I would have easily paid $50 for meditations. Matter of fact, Ryan Holiday has a leather bound version on. Matter of fact, I'll pull this up. I want to show you. I think it's really cool. It's like $110, and I want one. I might get one, but if I get it, I'm not going to use it though. It's going to be more like a collectible. And Robert Greene is launching one as well. I think it's only $90. I know some of you might be thinking, "Oh my god, $90 for a fucking book." It's a collector's item, okay? It's a collector's thing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, this is disgusting. Look at that. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can. Gregory Hayes translation, premium leather edition. Comes in a little box too. Right? Look at that. It almost looks like a Bible, kind of. And Junius, I think it's Junius Rusticus. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism here. Epictetus, the slave, right? Later turned philosopher. Antoninus Pius, I think that was his adoptive father. And then this, I think that's his mother. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm going off the top of my head here. But yeah, look at this. So it's got a box here. And then it comes in that. So I might do this as a giveaway one day. Maybe. It's not going to be for our next one, but I will likely give this away in the future. Premium paper, end sheets, and a ribbon. I fucking love the ribbon, dude. The Daily Stoic has a ribbon on it. Biography, custom box, some illustrations, whatever. So, anyway. See, I like cool shit like that. That's just me, though. Some people, you know, they might not like it, might not want it. If you don't want it, that's fine. You ain't got to buy it. But I think it's great. So. You got the Daily Dad signed edition on the way. Oh, nice. I got the Daily Dad. I got that for a friend of mine. Hopefully he's reading it. I got to ask him next time I see him. I got to be like, so how many pages have you read of that book, bruh? What book? Hopefully he doesn't say that. You hit me with the stoicism right at the right time. Deadass saved me from potentially interacting with my kids in the wrong way and not foster as healthy of a relationship. Love you, bro. Hey, I love you too, man. Look, you know, learning begins when school ends. That to me is how it should be. You don't learn anything in school. Oh yeah, see, and we're just trading right through that. That's why I said it looks like the mitigation model, but it's not. You don't learn in school, man. They don't teach you how to be a parent. They don't teach you Stoic philosophy. They don't teach you how to think. They don't fucking teach you anything. Taxes, business, LLCs, like anything entrepreneurship related, nothing. No personal development, none of that. So when I forgot how I came across Ryan Holiday, to be fair. I think somebody might have mentioned like stillness is the key or something of that nature. And then maybe I found him that way. I don't know if anyone specific introduced me to Ryan. It must have been somebody. I didn't just stumble upon him, you know, randomly. But, you know, I guess I read the book and I found his YouTube and his Instagram and the shorts and stuff. And the more you get into Stoic philosophy, the more you realize how practical it is. And I think that's why it's making such a strong comeback, you know, in history, because a lot of the, I guess, historians are saying that, you know, Stoicism died off and now it's being brought back again. It's being made more mainstream. And that's thanks to people like Ryan Holiday, you know, because if anything, he's very well known for sharing Stoic philosophy. And he has probably more followers and a bigger email list than anybody else, like Gregory Hayes or what's her name? Nancy Sherman, or like Sharon LaBelle, any of these other writers. What's his name? Donald Robertson, and a few others. David Fideler. The guy did a good life. William B. Irvine. Okay, like all those, you know, I'm sure Ryan has a way bigger influence, right? And so, again, my point is, that's why I think it's making a comeback, because of how practical it is. A lot of this, like Stoic one-liners, especially Seneca. It's not that life is short, it's that we waste a lot of it. We often suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. You know, people resonate with that. People connect with that. And a lot of people don't even realize that half the shit in the personal development world comes from Stoic philosophy. It comes from Stoic ideas. You know? So when I find something that is beneficial to me or beneficial to traders, whatever, I always share that. No one in my last venture that I was in, there was not one person that I believe that shared more book recommendations than me. I cannot name one. Maybe you can. Maybe you know somebody that recommended more books than me. Let me know. I would love to go look at them and see what they're recommending, because I want some more books to recommend too. I want some more books to read as well. But I personally believe that nobody, no educator, gave out more recommended books than me, period. And it's not about volume. It's not about being more, having more streams than everyone else, more book recommendations than everybody else. It's not about the volume, okay? It's just about the impact. It's like, look, this has helped me. This could help you. This has helped me. This could help you, over and over and over and over again. I don't think anybody from that company read more on leadership than I did. So think about that. At the same time. So how does one person, myself is what I'm saying, how does one person simultaneously give out more book recommendations to traders and more leadership recommendations? How do you do both in multiple categories, bro? How do you do that? And have more streams than everybody else? How do you do that? Well, putting people first. Students over profit, or people over profit. Either way. So, you know, I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride in my book page, the wall shelf. I do. Take a lot of pride in it. Shit, I spent like $50 on just the photography backdrop boards. I spent another like $30 to get this fucking thing right here. I don't think the camera can pick this up, but it's like an arm that holds my phone so I can have like an overhead shot to make reviews and shit. I mean, I'm spending money just to make shit look better. You know what I mean? Because that's how passionate I am about that book page. That book page makes me no money. I'm losing money having that shit. But I don't care, because that's not what it's about. I'll make money elsewhere. I'll fucking take some trades and make money. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. It's worth it to me. And you'll find things in your life too that you probably won't make money on. Like some people, like art. You know, I follow some people that share their art and shit. They're probably not making money off of that. They're probably not selling their art for a lot of money. They're probably not selling their art at all. But what do you spend your money on? Canvases, paint, even lessons. So that's probably a losing transaction. But that's not what it's about. You don't go to a workshop and learn how to paint to make money. You know what I mean? Like, I would say 9 out of 10 people don't do that. It's to enjoy the experience. It's to express yourself through art, right? Because it's something that you care about and something that you're passionate about. So you're not worried how much you might be worried about how much it costs, but you're not worried about trying to make money from that, because that's not what it's about. We can make money doing other things, trading, running a channel, running some sort of service or whatever. The royalties, right? My book royalties. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't mind losing money in some areas. Shit, even Walmart. Walmart loses money on some of their products. But you know how they make more money on the back end? Is the products that they lose money on is going to be like in the middle or at the back of the store, right? Like toothbrushes, toothpaste and shit. They're not going to make a lot of money off that. If anything, they might even lose some of that money. But how do you get to those products that are in the back or in the middle of the store? You got to walk through all this other shit. You got to walk past the bakery to have all the cookies and the donuts and shit. You got to walk through the clothing aisle. You got to walk past, you know, to get to the milk, you got to walk past the snacks and the bread and cheese, right? Why is milk on the other side of the aisle with Doritos and shit? Why? Why would you put the important shit? We're going to put milk at the back end of the store. Why? Because they know people are going to buy milk, bread, and cheese. So they're going to put that in the back. So you have to walk past everything else. You got to walk past the aisles or go through the aisles that have the Doritos and the cheese and all this other bullshit, right? Because that's where they're going to make their money on. You know what I'm saying? So we can do the same things, not just in business, but in our life as well. You can be passionate about things that don't make you money. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. And that is one thing I wish more people understood. You don't have to make money on everything you do. Okay? It is great to make money, but everything you do does not have to make money. I'm buying a journal and 3 of your recommended books for my son's birthday this weekend. How old is your son turning, Stephanie? How old is your son going to be? Stoic is very interesting. Well, it's stoicism, but it is very interesting. It is. I would agree. Yeah, Jada, that is absolutely true. And Ryan said that as well. I was trying to explain that to my friend last night. Because my best friend, I'm trying to get him to fucking read. I've been trying to get him to read for a long time. A long time I've been trying to get him to read. And we were just having a conversation, you know, about certain things. And I just kept saying, like, bro, this is why I'm trying to get you to read. I'm like, this reason right here, what you're asking me about, what you're telling me about, this is why I'm trying to get you to read. Because reading may not have all the answers. I'm not going to tell you that it has all the answers because it might not. But it's got a lot of answers in there that are either going to give you the answer you're looking for or it's going to help you find the answer. You know what I mean? Because half the advice that I give to my friends comes from books, bro. You know, one of my friends was like, hey, man, I think I need to travel more because, you know, I'm kind of bored. I'm like, bro, wherever you go doesn't matter as much as what type of person you are when you get there. That's Seneca. I'm like, just make sure you're not running away from your problems because your problems are not going to go away just because you're in a different location. Your problems are not going to go anywhere because you're at the club or you're drinking. That's not going to solve anything. If anything, you're just going to lose money. And now you're just going to be worse off tomorrow. It's just like, dude, I learned this from reading. It's not me. You know, I wouldn't consider myself a philosopher. I'm not sitting here writing shit down and trying to come up with new ideas. Bro, I'm just reading what's been left to me from history. That's what I told him. I was like, dog, you got to realize books. This is what I told him. I said, look, man, people have been around for at least, I'd say 3,000 years. Some of these people believe that the earth has been around millions of years. I don't think that's true. But I would say at a minimum, I think we can all agree at least about 3,000. Because, you know, Jesus was 2,000 years ago. And then we had, I think, Socrates like 400, 500 BC or some shit like that. So it's like, okay, well, we've got a history of at least 2,500 years, maybe 3,000 years. Okay, great. Anything beyond that, I have no fucking idea. But either way, let's just say, just for sake of example, okay, just to keep it simple, imagine the earth has been around exactly 3,000 years. Okay? How many generations of people have been around for 3,000 years? I mean, we're talking millions of people being born, millions of people dying, millions of people more being born, right? Dying, and the cycle just continues, right? For years and years and years. You have all these people, billions of people. You don't think some of those same people had the same issues that you have? You don't think some of those same people went through life and figured out answers that worked for them and then wrote the shit down? Of course they did. I gotta turn my music back on. It's too quiet in here. I knew something was awkward. You don't think these people did that for a reason? That's why books are powerful. I'm not saying you got to read stories. You don't got to read The Great Gatsby or How to Kill a Mockingbird. Like, you don't got to read books that you don't like or that you find to be boring. That's okay. They've got other genres. Personal development, mindset, stoicism, Stoic philosophy, history. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of stuff. Oh, he'll be 30. Oh, shit. We're the same age. We're the same age. Books have on my mind in a way that is impossible to explain. That's my point. Katerina, that's my point. You just got to read. I've read bad books. I've read books that I was just like, what the fuck? Shit, I've read books I wanted to throw away. I'm like, I don't even want to keep this. I don't even want to give it away. I just want to throw it away. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just like, you know what? I'll just keep it. But the good ones, at least, oh yeah, sure. Because I'm like, dude, this is too good. Let me ask you guys a question. This will be the last thing. Let me write this out because this is a yes or no question. Let me highlight not just to make sure you guys understand the question. All right, here's a question of the day. I'll give it like 5 minutes and then we'll hop off here. Here's your question of the day. Have you found any of my book recommendations to not be worth reading? Have I ever given you a book to read and you read it and you went, man, John, this book sucks. You recommended me this book and it was horrible. Horrible. Didn't learn anything. It was boring. I'm never listening to John again. I'm unfollowing his book page. Trash. Has that ever happened? Oh, I meant to put that in the poll. Damn it. Shit. See, I'm too concentrated on what we're talking about. I'm over here fucking it up. Sorry. Please vote in the poll. I try to make it easy for you guys so you don't have to type it out. Let me catch up on a chat for a minute. Yeah, no, it's great observation, Naruto. Hopefully your mom listened to you. Stillness is the Key was a great book. Reading it again, yeah, that is one worth reading again as well. Best form of entertainment, yes, I would agree. When my wife's grandparents passed, they left literally probably 500 to 1,000 books in their house for us to go through. It was a fun time. Most got donated, but I secured some gems for free of charge. That's good. That's good. There's probably some old ass shit in there. Like old ass shit. Like books from like the 50s and 60s and 70s. Those pages were probably yellow. Those pages were probably so yellow they were damn near orange. They probably smell like a library too. Especially if they smoke cigarettes. If they smoke cigarettes in the house, those books are definitely fucking yellow. So we're coming off this low. Might trade back up into the range. Triple Qs may actually end up trading back into this daily gap as well. And so now is what's going to determine whether this is going to be, I don't think this is going to be a short, is what it's looking like. If we trade above that, we might trade back into it and then go higher. Is what I'm thinking. I may have to close my Dow short. It won't be a big deal. Sometimes you screw up the exit. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? $11 votes for no. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Beverly says I had the best book recommendations. I get a lot of mine I get now is from Ryan Holiday or even some other people. Like just randomly scrolling through book pages or, you know, random stuff that, you know, like the algorithms that send you posts from other people and stuff. So I see some stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. All right. So we traded through this imbalance. So this to me doesn't seem bearish. That doesn't seem bearish. But yeah. All right. We've been about 1 hour and 20 minutes. You got your assignment for this week. So hopefully you guys do that. Obstacles the way is a gem. It is. It is. The only thing I don't like about Obstacles the Way is I think it could have been a little bit longer. I think that's his shortest book out of that whole series. I actually reread that book earlier this year. Not the whole thing, but I did or maybe I did read the whole thing. I don't know. But like I went back and read a lot of the chapters of Obstacles the Way. That's probably why, because that was his shortest one. We have equal likes as viewers. Oh yeah. Well, I mean they both kind of fluctuate, but yeah, we did have that for a minute. We were at 50% of the range. I mean, yeah, 32. We're good now. Now we can screenshot. You know, but I think I get more viewers when I make the chat open instead of members only. But oh well, we're good. Oh yeah, sorry, that's the last thing. You guys already know we got to have about 25 last things. You know, you really shouldn't even be surprised anymore. That shouldn't surprise you. You're not surprised. Let me see. I don't know if they're here. Let me do a quick shout out for a minute. I forgot the last shout out I did. But we did have Ivan join as a tier 3 recently. Planet joined about 5 days ago as well. Shout out to you. I think we had another one. I think Julio G signed up a few days ago. Christian R signed up a few days ago as a tier 3. TJ Tony signed up recently as a tier 3. And some others rejoined recently. So shout out to all of the new tier 3 members. The view is what I wanted to get to, the viewership. Oh, yesterday I had 420 views. Nice. I know Willow can appreciate that one. So for 2023, we are at 97,576. So that means we are really close to the 100K. Can you guys believe that? We are very close to 100K, which means that's our next giveaway. We had 1 vote for yes. Which book did I recommend that you consider not worth reading? Now I want to know. Unless you just hit the wrong button. But if there's a book that I gave you a recommendation on and you read it and determined that it was not worth reading, tell me what that book is. I want to know. Because it's hard to tell if you guys are being sincere or if you're just trolling. We are on the internet. So just, you know, you got to be mindful of that too. But we should get 100,000 here within the next couple days, easily. Sincerely trolling. You're gonna have that. You're always gonna have that. Yeah. So remember how this is the last thing, and then we'll hop off of here. Earlier I mentioned how the S&P did not take these lows from the morning, right? So this down candle here was respected. We disrespected this imbalance, and that's why I said the idea is if this doesn't get respected for a short, it's probably going to trade through it, back into it to get sent higher. And that's what I'm going to be watching for here on this afternoon. But I think I'm going to go ahead and just probably close my Dow short, or at least bump the stop. And then I'm just going to walk away, to be honest. I think I'm just going to walk away here. All right. Yeah, Christopher, 100K views for the year, like specifically for 2023. And it's also 2 days behind. Typically for views, it's 2 days behind. For subscribers, we gained a little over 2,000 for this year. Excuse me. But yeah, we're getting close to 6-figure views. So that'll be fun to celebrate. And I got something that's coming in the mail pretty soon. I'm going to show you as well. That I'm really excited for. But I can't show you because I don't have it yet. So with that being said, you guys be blessed, man. I'll put out that market review later tonight for tier 1 and up. So all of the members will get our market review today. All right, so be blessed. Look out for that. And I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.